So have you guys come across a Excel sheet that looks like this in either in Twitter or in a Telegram channel or somewhere else, and then you got yourself confused that whether these participants of FII DII Pro, whether they are in the short side or long side, you could not figure it out. Well, this video will show you how to read the FII DII Pro data, where to get them, and how to interpret them for your own analysis. Hey guys, my name is Arjit and welcome to a session with quantgnosis.id. Please hit the like button and leave a comment below. Please subscribe to our channel if you have not already and refer your friends to our channel. So first we'll start with some basics. So who are these participants? FII, DII and Pro. So FII represents the foreign institutional investors, a group of investors who is outside the country registered as FII. DII represent the domestic institutional investors. Pro represent the proprietary brokerage firms trading on behalf of themselves. Client represent the clients who are registered as part of the brokerage firm. So which means the clients are also include the retail clients. Now, while trying to understand the data of FII DII Pro participant-wise positions, so we need to understand that data has two aspects. One is cumulative, which means the data, what the data represent as of today, as of right now, and the incremental or relative changes. So incremental changes or relative changes meaning how much change happened from yesterday to today, or how much change happened from last month to this month. So that relative change, increment of the data, so that is the second aspect of the data. So we'll cover more on this two aspect later part of this video. Now to understand the data, some of the things that we discussed before with future and options we'll need to cover. So if you are looking for a more comprehensive or detailed understanding of future or option related data, please check our video for future and options. So in here I'll shortly briefly cover that. So what does the open interest of the future and the price change represent? So price changes either in the positive side or the negative side. So it's either a bullish price change or bearish price change. So the bullish side price change are done either by the building up new long positions, making new longs, or covering the existing shorts. On the other side, bearish price change happens because of the short side build up or profit booking in the longs or long unwindings. So since we are familiar with these four terms and we have already seen in the future and option video how those things happens with the change of the open interest. So open interest is the number of contract for future and options as well, both refer to the number of contract accumulated. And the open interest increase with the price increase is usually referred as long build up, and I'm not going through all of this reading out, just because you can just check out the other video, what is long build up, what is short covering, what is short build up, what is long unwinding. Similarly for options also, from the seller's perspective, the price can go up or down, or there could be change in the open interest in the put side or call side. This will give us a long build up, whether short covering or short build up or long unwinding is happening. So short covering and long build up is referred to as bullish, while as short build up or long unwinding is referred as a bearish. Okay, now we understand what is bullish and bearish build up, and we'll straight jump to some examples to see how does these things works. So first I'll go in official way of getting this data. So if you go to the NSDL FII investment side, you can see how much crores of data that is there. So this gives you number of contracts as well as the number in crore in the monetary value of the option, but this may not give you the whole picture. For actual data picture, you need to go to the NSE website and go under products, then derivatives, then equity derivatives, and from equity derivatives go for historical data, and then archives of daily or monthly report. So once you are at this archives of daily and monthly reports page, in the drop down select participant wise open interest and select the date that you want to get the data. Click on get the data, it will download a CSV file. So the file will look like this. Now in this file there is two sections of the data. So one is the future and the second section is for options. So first let us cover the future segment of the data. So if you notice this is a participant wise open interest or number of contract in equity derivative as on March 12, 2021. So who are participant? Client, DII, FII, Pro, and the data is based on the number of contract. The number represent the total open interest or the number of contract they are holding this particular participant has traded. So FII have as on 12th March 74,680 index future long. Now index meaning here Nifty, Bank Nifty, all the tradable index that are there, the total position of all index. So they don't tell that how much positions of this contract are in Nifty or Bank Nifty from here. The next one is future index short. Now they can have both side trade, right? So they can have long and they can have also short. So this much are the contract they have short side in the index as on 12th March. So this gives you a holistic picture look into the cumulative side, which means as of 12th March what is the position for this participant, whether they are in the long side and how much contract they are holding in the long side. So if you just subtract the future long minus future short, you do that, you will get the net positions of whether it's a net approximately coming around 21,000, right? 74 minus 52k, so which is coming around 21,000 net long side contract FII holding, because the long sides contracts are more. Similarly, this specific sale gives me representation for FII participant. Now proprietary participant or DII participant I can read similar way. This much is net long they are holding and this much is net short they are holding. So total this minus this gives me the short side contract approximately 33 minus 34, which is minus 1, right? So 1000 approximately contract they are holding in the short side. So this gives me index wise data. Now this segment gives me stocks data. So index I said future or tradable indexes, Nifty, Bank Nifty, all these things. For stock refers to all FNO segment stocks that are part of FNO. So total contract for that. So if I right now holding this much total long side contract and holding this much total short side contract, if you subtract again 623k minus 541k, k represent 1000 by the way. So 623k minus 541k is equal to the net total positions for FII participant. Okay, so this is how you are supposed to read the future index data or future stock data. Now let us look into some other options. So if you go to this website called QuantSap and search for participant data, you will come to this page where you can see one side is a chart, the another side you can see the date wise positions. So FII long for 10th March was this, FII short for 10th March was this. FII long for 12th March is this, and FII short for 12th March is this. So this segment of data is giving me both cumulative positions, which is what is the total positions as of 12th March in this row, as well as it is giving me picture of relative changes, how much change happened from 10th March to 12th March, or 26th February to 12th March, how much changes happened. So you can compare with the previous day or previous month and find that how much changes has happened. So it gives me a relative or incremental picture, how much changes is happening, as well as the cumulative, what is the current position. Now if you subtract this minus this, you get the net position, so net long positions, and you can in the chart also you can read date wise. Yellow bar represent the long position and grey bar represent the short position. This is total long contract, this is total short contract, and the difference between these two bars, this segment represent the net position. So for example, from February, if you see, there has been more net long position and more total long positions, but if you look into the current day, you can see that less long positions and less total net short positions. Similarly, you can look into, this is for future stock, you can look into the future index, you can get the similar data. Now there is another options, you can go to a website called Offstra and find FII DII segment and derivative segment. You will come into this data. So personally I prefer this data because of this gives me both side of the picture and net position as well. So from here, if I see that FII Pro client index open interest data 12th March and same for 10th March. So only drawback compared to Quantsap is that in Quantsap I have all the days data, but in here we are just comparing against what is the previous day's data and what is the current position. So current position, if you look into this net future column, this is giving me plus 21,976. So 21k is, or 22k roughly, is the total net FII future Y holding, net long side in the index. And similarly, if you go to for the Pro also proprietary, they are this much short side contract they are holding, and DI this much short side contract they are holding, net short side contract. And if you compare with the previous day, so net long has been down from 28k to 21k, 22k. So 28 to 22, 6k contract has been reduced in the net long position. But Pro side, if you look, the net short side contract has been covered, and they have reduced the total short side contract. So this gives me a relative picture, what is the change has happened, as well as how much is the data today. There is, if you scroll down a little bit, there is also the data for stock open interest. So for stock, FII has this much net long position, and client has this much net long positions, and Pro has this much net long positions, and DIE has this much net short position. Okay, and how much changes happened from previous day to today. So if you look into this, FII has 98,000 contract in 10th March, but it's reduced to 82.5k or 82,500 contract on 12th March. So I hope this will give you a clarity on how to read the future side data, whether the positions in the net long side or short side right now, or how much change happened from the previous day. You should be able to tell going forward following this data wherever you see. So first focus on the future side data. Now there is also a cash market data which are easily available. You can also see in one of the most popular on daily report in most of the news as well. So whether they are doing in the short side or long side, usually cash market is a delayed indicator, because the main positions sometimes changes happen actually in the future, and then cash market may represent the changes later. Okay, so I don't have the scope to discuss how the positions is built up for FII DI with the derivatives and how they are related to cash market, but let us say that so they make position, it's very likely that they will make a position first in the derivative segment and then they will take a delivery in the cash segment. Now for the next segment is the option segment, right? So if you downloaded the data, from Nifty website, you will see that there is option index, call long, put long, call short, put short. This is one segment, and then there is stock, call long, put long, call short, and put short. So if you go in the rightmost side, there will be something called total long. So this gives you number of total contract, but this actually representation of total long side and short side contract may be wrong, because the future side contract and the option side contract may have a different value. So put or call long, it's not telling us whether it's a in the money option or over the money option or far over the money options. So this total contract, don't look into that, rather focus on the granular level. So look into the net future long or net future short side, what is the position, and then look into the options separately instead of combining these two results. So first look into the option index. So I'll just go back to the Ostra website because this is easier to understand and explain as well. So if you look into this net column again, the differences between long calls and short calls is given in here. So net calls is positive, which is basically increase in call. So it's a net call long positions. So call long refers bullish positions. On the other hand, net put is positive, means the put long represent bearish positions. So if you see in terms of absolute number, the number is very bigger than the net call, which means we can holistically in a high level we can say in option side FII are actually having a bearish positions. But this does not give us the exact picture because we don't know what strike they are dealing with, right? So it gives us a bigger picture, but it does not give me the exact picture compared to the future where it does not have a complication of the strikes of options. So future data is much more linear and straightforward. For option data, it may not be as much straightforward, but it will give you a holistic, a bigger picture. So net put is lot higher than net calls, refers to obviously more short positions. In pro side, if you notice, this net put is minus, which means so client side, client participant, if you see, minus 198087. So clients are the majorly put shorts they are holding. So put short refers to bullish positions. Okay, and if you compare the call long as well, so and as well as the future long, so clients are very bullish right now on the index. If you go to pro segment, you can see that there are net call minus. So short side call shorts represent bearish positions. Okay, so sometimes you have seen the representation saying that upside is limited. So this is means when there is call short are huge, which means that could be upsides could be limited. If there is huge put short, that could be downsides are limited. Okay, so this kind of representation gives. They are also having put longs, which is also kind of a bearish. So put long or call short refers to bearish positions. On the other hand, call long and put short refers to the bullish positions. So look into the number and check what is the net positions of the call and put, whether it's very big or very small. A very big number of the net difference represent whether they are either in bullish side or bearish side. For example, if I see this FII data, it tells me 57, almost 3 times or 2 times of this long side they are in short side. If we look into the client side data, it tells me that all the data is for the long side. If I look into the DII side, I can see that there are more puts than more calls. Also, you can look into the comparative manner as well. The previous day, 10th March, the data was this, and what has happened here. So they have booked some profit from the calls and increased in the short side. So this kind of representation as well you can make. If you look into the quants app also, you will see that OPT index is basically option index and OPT stocks is basically option stocks. So this is giving you another story here. So if I call long plus put short is this much. So put short reference bullish, call long refer bullish. So bullish position this much, put long and call short, which is basically bearish position, is this much. So this will give you another way of looking into the data, that this much bullish position and this much bearish contracts are they are holding right now, and what is the change has happened in the bullish positions or bearish side over the days. So I hope that so far that this whole thing gives you a picture of how to get a current positions of the participants in different category and read this data and understand whether they are in bullish side or bearish side. Now let us summarize what are the things we learned. So the data, when you are reading, we need to look into the data is a mostly holistic side, because the cash, future and all options all together can represent their actual position, whether they are bullish or bearish. So we need to consider all of this together to understand whether these participants FII DII Pro, whether they are in the bullish side or bearish side. We need to look into the relative changes as well. What are the changes from yesterday or last week or last month till today or this week, this month. So based on the changes we can understand which side they are moving, what is their bias moving towards. So future data gives you more clarity than, so future data is much more straightforward and linear. The data reading does not give you direct trade signals, but this overall data, if you look into it, you will get a overall picture and it will reinforce your existing strategy. For example, your technical trading strategies may be giving you a very straightforward long signal, but if you see in the data and it is giving you, let's say, the FII Pro or DI, everyone may be looking into very bearish. So you can avoid that kind of situation in your existing trading strategy. You can filter out certain trigger or signal from your trading strategy based on the holistic picture that you get by reading this data. In this video so far we have learned how to read the FII data objectively and how to incorporate this data analysis into existing trading system. Please write down your questions in below comment, or any feedback also please share. That is all for today. Thank you and take care.